everybody's got a little space that they can practice in, and go ahead and get yourself set up. Make sure you've got your mat handy. Mine's right behind me. Okay, so we're going to start with some box breathing. I'm sure everybody's quite familiar with this technique, and I just want to make sure that you're bringing balance to your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, and that's what this breath really does. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. And when you're there, just tune into your breath. We're not starting just yet. I just want you to feel what your breath is doing right now. And maybe this is like the first conscious breath you've taken today. It's always a very mindful moment, reflecting on what's going on in the body. We're always running around going from A to B, and this might be the first moment you're just being with yourself today. Notice the in-breath and notice the out-breath. As you breathe in, you're aware of your in-breath. And as you breathe out, you're aware of your out-breath. Now I want you to breathe in for a count of 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. And hold, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. And drop the technique. Keep your eyes closed. And just make note of what that simple breathing technique offered for your body and for your mind at this moment. The next breathing technique we're going to go into is alternate nostril breathing. And you can briefly open up your eyes for a moment and watch the screen. You're going to curl in your index and middle finger so that your thumb and your 4th and 5th digit are extended. You will turn your hand towards you. And if you look, I will use my thumb to close one nostril, and I'll use the other two to close the other nostril. And what the technique will do is we'll breathe in as one side is closed, and then we'll switch and we'll breathe out and breathe in, breathe out. So it's kind of like this triangle effect. And what this breath does is you'll notice there's a difference in the left and the right nostril. In the yogic tradition, they believe that that correlates to the hemisphere of the brain that is more active at that time. the left versus the right hemisphere. And it also really massages, according to the yogic tradition, the inner nose, which is where a lot of the nadis and energy points are for the body. They all run through the nose. So a lot of the breath work working through that channel is very cleansing to the body. So let me walk you through it. It's a little bit cumbersome to walk you through, but I will do my best. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with an inhale on the right. You're going to close the right and you exhale left. We'll inhale left, close the left, exhale right, and so on. Okay, so go ahead and bring your hand up toward your nose. Go ahead and close the left with your ring finger and index, and pinky finger, and breathe in through the right. Close the right, open the left and exhale through the left. Keep the right closed, inhale through the left. Close the left, open the right, exhale out to the right. Inhale right, close, open left, and exhale on the left. Inhale on the left, close, exhale on the right. Now I want you to keep this breath going by yourself. Once you get the hang of it, it becomes quite methodical and you can fall into this rhythm that is quite meditative as you inhale and exhale. So I want you to find your breath pattern that is a count of maybe 3 or 4, and trying to lengthen the breath as you're doing your inhale and exhale. There is no holding during this technique. And if you get lost in your technique, you can shake out your hand and just take a moment to breathe and then try again. Notice the effects while you're doing this breathing technique. Do you notice which side feels more open? Beautiful. Finish your last round, and then you'll drop the hand and just sit with your breath for a moment, noticing the benefits of alternate nostril breathing. Good. I'm going to move back onto my mat space and I'll invite you to do the same. You can take a cross-legged position or sit on your heels if you'd like. We're going to start with bringing the left ear towards the left shoulder, just to stretch out the right upper trapezius right here. A lot of us need this stretch. Good, let that feel really good. Maybe drop the nose down a couple degrees towards the ground and you'll feel a slight difference in that stretch. Slowly bring the head back up and switch to the other side, dropping the right ear down towards the right shoulder now, stretching out throughout the left upper trapezius. You're welcome to stay here or just gently bring the nose down a couple degrees. Beautiful. Slowly come back up and roll your shoulders back a couple times to loosen up the shoulder girdle. Good. Inhale the arms up, stretching the back, and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Linking breath with movement. Inhale up, exhale down. Last one, coming all the way up. Interlace your hands and just rest them behind your head and see if you can lengthen the head backwards, but As you're looking up, you don't just dump into your hands, you're almost lengthening the spine. Good. Let your pectoralis on the front of your chest open up wide. Beautiful. Nice area to breathe in deeply here. So the lungs are expanding. And now exhale and come back as you drop the chin down and gently stretch out the back of the neck. Let that feel really good. If you want a slight variation, feel free to just in this position gently turn a couple degrees to the right, very minimal, and then a couple degrees over towards the left. Find any sticky points that might be there, and gently release the hands behind the back. Good. Go ahead and come onto your hands and knees. Let's warm up the spine. So you're going to place your hands right underneath your shoulders and knees right underneath your hips. And I want you to do a couple of cat-cows. And for anybody who's doing this for the first time, you're going to exhale, round the spine, bring the tailbone down, really stretching those shoulder blades wide. And then inhale, dropping the abdomen towards the mat as you look up and bring the tailbone towards the sky. Alternate between these two postures to warm up the spine into flexion and extension, stretching out into any area that feels tight and needs some movement right now. Notice how this posture helps your breath. Good. From here, I would like you to curl in the toes, keep the knees bent, and go into a little bit of a downward dog. So you don't have to push yourself all the way back. Maybe you're just in kind of a elevated tabletop position. Or maybe you do push all the way back into your downward dog. Find what works best for you today. Good. Breathe in, breathe out, and gently lower and take a child's pose for a moment. Maybe you stretch your hands out in front of you, resting your head down. Breathing. Notice the posterior expansion of the ribs as your chest is resting on your thighs. You'll feel a lateralization of the rib cage outwards, and you'll feel the chest expand into your back. Good. Shift your weight forward again. Curl in your toes. Briefly come back into that downward dog, and then walk your feet forward into a standing forward fold. Now bend your knees generously here. I don't want you to develop too much strain in the hamstring. And let your neck hang long. So decompress the neck. Good. Slowly rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae to a standing position. Good. We are going to elevate the arms up towards the ceiling, and we're going to exhale down half. Just try and touch your shins, I'm sorry. Then elevate halfway. So when we're doing this halfway lift, what happens is I'm really strengthening the postural muscles here. And then we exhale back down, bend the knees and inhale all the way up. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift, really spreading the clavicle, not the shoulder blades, the collarbone wide. Good. And then exhale, fold down. Healthy bend in the knees, and then stand all the way up, reaching up towards the sky. And exhale, hands towards your heart. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Good. From here, inhale, half lift, really strong through the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Beautiful, and hands in front of the heart. Bend the knees and bring the arms overhead for chair pose. Beautiful. I want you to be nice and strong in your core, strong in your back. Drop your shoulders down out of your ears. So I don't want them elevating too much here. Good. Breathe. I know this builds up a lot of fire. Good. Go ahead, lift up the right leg and just quickly step it back. And then open up your arms into warrior two. Look at that. Beautiful. Then inhale, reach up into reverse warrior. Good. Opening up into the left side. Lowering down to warrior two again. Sweep the right arm forward as you spin onto the back foot for a warrior one. Beautiful. Exhale the arms behind you. Step forward into that chair pose. And inhale, swooping the arms out, hands in front of your heart. We're going to do that again on the opposite side. So we're inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, sitting down into that chair pose. Yes, I'm working you a little bit and getting your legs strong, your core strong, your upper back strong. These are good things. Good, breathe. Hover the left foot up and step it behind you and open up into warrior two. Beautiful. Inhale the right arm up into reverse warrior. Good, opening up into the right side. Then coming back into your warrior two. Sweep the left arm up and forward and step back into your chair pose. Hold for a moment. And then inhale and sweep it out. Hands to your heart. Beautiful. That was really good work. Go ahead and slowly bring your feet a little bit wider so you have a nice wide base. Drop your arms alongside your body. And I want you to start to find your breath. This is called mountain pose. So I want you to envision the connection underneath your feet with the earth. I want you to imagine a big sky above you. I want you to feel how strong you are in your stance. Good. Open your eyes and gently come down into a comfortable position. We have about 10 minutes in the class remaining, and I'd love to walk you through this little bit of a meditation. So I'm going to come up a little closer. Okay, go ahead and find a comfortable spot that you'll like. And I have to disclose, this meditation I want to share with you is based on this wonderful card. It's from this company called Little Renegades, and they do mindfulness cards for children. And I have a 2-year-old, and we do mindfulness meditation together. But this one is so beautiful, I thought I would share it with you. So take a moment and just find your spot. And I want you to picture where you are as that mountain again. So if you're sitting cross-legged, it's a really nice way because you'll have this wide base underneath you. And as your trunk forms the slopes of the mountain, you can rest your hands on your knees, kind of to create this triangular shape. And again, imagine the earth beneath you. It's like you're really rooting down to the earth. You have a hard time feeling that. Sometimes imagining being in a meadow and feeling grass underneath your body could be really helpful, or having your feet in dirt or in sand. Notice your strength as you take on this mountain pose. Notice your slopes, your base, and your peaks. Notice how when it rains and you go through stormy weather, that just rolls right off of you. And it nourishes the rivers below and the streams into the meadows. Notice how there are differences in your mountain throughout the day. Your mountain looks different in morning light versus midday versus at sunset. Notice all the color changes as your day goes by on your mountain. Notice that the soundscape will change with the time of day. The sun is set on your mountain and there is a dark sky, a mighty Milky Way above your head. You are the mighty Milky Way, and you watch over the entire galaxy. You look to your left and you see beautiful shades of purple and blues and black. If you roll your eyes to the center, you see its entirety. You see planets of all shapes and sizes. And to your right, you might see a shooting star sail across the sky. You remind us that we are bigger than we could ever imagine. You help us dream our big dreams. And you tell us to be hopeful for more, but happy with what we have now. Thank you, mighty galaxy above us. Go ahead and take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Notice the sense of calm that you have within your body at this time. After moving your breath, moving your body, and moving your mind. These tools are always available to you. Go ahead and flutter your eyes open. And I always, I teach yoga at Barrow for headache and migraine. And I don't know, I always find it so helpful to open up in the last couple minutes of the class a brief moment for anybody if they want to share anything about their practice or about how they're feeling. I always like to generate a safe space for people. And I also must apologize. I'm sorry if you hear my child come in. So anyway, I would love to open up the floor to anybody if they want to share anything about how they're feeling or how they like their practice. Yeah, go for it.
First of all, that was amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was really great. There was a point where we were doing mountain pose where you talked about how strong we were. And I noticed that the stance was stronger if I allowed my joints to be a little bit flexible rather than rigid. And so to me, that was a little bit of a metaphor for how to approach, anything else where, a little flexibility can help with strength.
That's
So
a wonderful insight. Thank you so much for sharing that. I like that a lot. Yeah. I don't know if anybody else has something that they would like to share, what they felt or.
Thank you. It was very peaceful.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I hope you feel more connected to your body. That's really the purpose of yoga.
Definitely.
Good. Cool. Thank you all for joining and practicing with me tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful night's rest.
we will